Welcome back everybody. I hope you're all having an awesome day or evening wherever you might be right now. This is part 1 of about 3 where we're looking at strange anomalies I found in Terra Cimmeria. Part 1 covers what looked like monoliths, shards and pipes. Lots to see in this one, folks. Let's get cracking on. Monitoring dust devil tracks in Terra Cimmeria. That's the name NASA gives this HiRISE photograph, acquired on the 29th of October 2020 at a high res of 24.8 centimeters per pixel. This is one of the better images I've shown you guys for the past couple of months. The JP2 black and white map projected file we're looking at here is just over 760 megabytes in size. There's a look at the low res black and white, and the anomalies I'll be showing you are scattered throughout this region. Check out these strange dust devil tracks in this region. Very windy area on Mars. Right, the photograph was snapped over here in Terra Cimmeria, and at the time of this video the HiRISE photograph had not been loaded to Google Earth Mars yet. The site is located 64 degrees 22 minutes south, 157 degrees 58 minutes east. We'll have a look at some of the other anomalies in the vicinity as well towards the end of the video. Part 1 of this series will be looking at the long narrow parts I discovered in this photograph, but I just want to show you guys some of the interesting anomalies which I'll feature in the near future in part 2 and 3, possibly even part 4. Check out this disc, guys. There's about 14 meters in diameter, and it's got a strange part located on the top. It's got a curvature very similar to the outer edge of this disc, and it's got 2 slots in it as well. It's very symmetrical and geometric. I don't know what this could have been, but it also looks as if the photograph that NASA took has been rotated 180 degrees anti-clockwise. I don't know why. Look at the shadows, they're all going off to the left, which is rather strange, but I'm going to leave it in this orientation because that's the way NASA intended to release it. And this strange track running through here, I think that's just an anomaly of the camera itself. Right, then the other weird anomaly which I'll feature in part 2 or 3 is this strange triangular object. It's about 8 meters wide and about 12 meters long, and it's got a strange raised part in the center. Check that out. And then it looks like some type of dome over here at the apex. Very similar to some others that I found in the past. This is in Kotka, another triangular object. It's got a strange dome-like part there, and it seems to be covered in something on the left-hand side. And then there's another one. This one's in Newcomb. It's standing on a square platform, this triangular part there, and then folded over the top. It looks like some type of sheet metal. Look at the bends in it. Very weird. And then this one in a real vallus. It's about 20 meters long. Check out the symmetry and geometry going on here as well. And then it seems to have like a flattened dome-like appearance here at the apex, and then these strange parts arranged geometrically at the back. Get the equal spacing between those. Right, let's get cracking on with the long narrow parts I found. This piece over here has got like a V shape to it. It's about 5 meters long on the left, and the piece on the right is about 8 meters long. So check that out. It's got a uniform depth to it, or thickness, and then The width as well is also constant. Check that out. And it looks like there could be a hole over here on the left hand side. I'll show you in part 2 or 3 another hole that I found with what looks like parts of a hatch lying next to it and just sort of partially covering it. I did cover this area a couple of months ago, maybe even a year ago, an older photograph, but it wasn't as high res as this one, and also the newer photograph covers a much larger area. So I'll show those to you in the near future as well, those anomalies. Check out these parts coming up, folks. This piece here is about 8 meters long and about 2 to 3 meters wide. It's also got a uniform width to it. And there's another one not far from it. Here's the one we just checked out. And just down to the south, we've got another one, folks. It's the same size. Check that out. Also, it has right angles over there. So what's the chances of that happening in nature? Check that out. Got one over here, and then pointing in the same direction, almost identical to that one. We have another one here. We're looking at another piece. It's a little bit smaller, but it's also got a uniform width to it, depth as well, and right angles over here, folks. Initially, when you see these things, 1 or 2, okay, but if you see so many of them in one photograph, you start questioning, are these things natural? I don't know. Do let me know what you guys and girls make of these in the comments below, please. Check this one out. Same size. It's also got right angles there. And it's got a slightly angled face of it. It looks like it's a 3-sided block, this. We're looking at a similar part over here, a little bit longer, and also about the same width. But check out this strange design on it. It's got 2 bevels to it. 90-degree angles going on there as well. Another one, that one's about the same size again, and close-up reveals it's got a uniform width to it as well. So could these have been like monolithic blocks or obelisks that toppled over during the utter devastation that hit the planet in the distant past? There's another one, folks. It's also got a uniform width to it and depth or thickness. There's another one, about the same size, and also it has a uniform width to it. Could this be one that's lying on top of this large flat disc-like piece there? Check that out. It's got a uniform width to it, right angles, and it looks like there's a circular base to it as well. Right, then we're looking at very long, narrow parts. These look almost like piping, and that piece there's about 14 meters long. Now check that out. It's got a constant uniform width to it, and it looks very artificial. Doesn't look like a typical rock or boulder, especially when you see all the others that I'll be showing you guys. This one's very similar. Get the uniform width to this piece as well. Seems like there's 2 more next to it, and these are arranged parallel to one another. Similar piece there, folks. Check that out. Again, we've got a very straight piece, well defined edge, uniform width to it as well. This piece over here is also weird. It's got a strange curvature to it, and it's in a part of the photograph with a lot of camera artifacts. Check out the pattern. Check out this shape. Also has a very similar constant width to it. And then this here looks like it could be an opening in the surface, like a hollowed out area, and then it's got this strange bridge-like part spanning that gap, also consisting of another one of these long narrow parts. There's another one. This one's about 14 meters long. Check out the straight edge to it. It's also got a uniform width to it. Next to it we've got like a half a disc shaped object there, and then another object over here also with a rounded side. Check that out. This piece is about 12 meters long, and also it has a uniform width to it, slightly curved. Here we're looking at a piece that looks almost like an obelisk, and that's about 12 meters long. Check that out, folks. It's got a slight taper to it. And then this part, it's about 14 meters long, and it's also got a taper to it, but it's also slightly curved. And then there's a part lying across here too. This part over here is about 10 meters long and about 1.5 meters wide. Also has a uniform width to it. Strange part over here. It looks like a piece of sheet metal that's been embedded in the surface. Also has a slight curvature to it, and next to it we have a perfect block. Check out the right angle there, folks. Similar piece over here, about 12 meters long, and it also looks like a piece of sheet metal. Look at that curvature to it. Could we be looking at some type of wreckage over here? This piece is about 14 meters long, and also it has a slight curvature to it, a slightly jagged edge. Okay, let's go down to Terra Cimmeria and this site. This is from the previous video I featured quite some time ago. We'll be having a look at these anomalies as well. They show up a bit better in this newer photograph, but check out the rectangular opening here on this one side, and a parallel bevel running across there, parallel with this side. This block is also in this photograph, in the newer one, and it's got a small protrusion or knob right there in its center, guys. This too looks like a piece of folded metal. Get the right angles to it. And then these parts, find lots of those in this photograph as well. Well-defined edges, sharp right angles. Looks like that could be a hole as well. And an elbow jointed piece there next to it. This is from the color strip of that older photograph. There's that hole. We'll have a look at that in part 2 or 3. Check out the small round part there in the middle of the opening, and then it's got these 3 parts. I wonder if they covered that hole. Looks like they fit together. Okay, the anomalies we just had a look at. See, the angle of the sun is different, or it could be that NASA rotated this photograph with 180 degrees. I'm not sure why. But I'll feature those 2 parts as well as the other weird anomalies in the near future. So check out these long narrow parts. These 2 are very much the same. So if you see 1 or 2 of these, you'll think, oh, there's nothing to it. But if you see so many, you got to start thinking, hang on a second, what are we looking at here? At that part. All so similar. I don't think these are natural, guys. Okay, let's have a look at 1 or 2 other sites. This is down to the southeast. This is about 30 kilometers to the southeast. Also, weird part here. Look at that curvature. It's got a hole there and something coming out of it. It's almost like smoke. Otherwise that could be dust lying over there, and it's got a strange small spherical object next to that hole. Another one of those long narrow pieces lying on top of this. And this is weird. It looks almost like a face mask. It's got the same shape or design. It's got like a dome design to it. Triangular opening there. And a uniform width to that skirt running around it. There looks like a hatch partially open on that block. Three small parts sticking off the side of that block, equal spacing between them. Two similar discs. On top of this one we've got what looks like a saucer, small dish or disc with a dome on it. Strange shape there, and in the middle of it, small oval part. This block's got two similar parts of protrusions on it there, and then two smaller parts on this one. Long narrow part there again, folks, seems to be joined to this larger piece. Check that out. Found a similar block to this on Bennu asteroid, of all places. Can you believe it? The right angles to it. And then a small rectangular depression running through the center line there. A little L-shaped piece next to this triangular part. This block's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. There's another one similar to it. And in part 2 or 3 of this series, I'll show you some more of these hexagonal objects are discovered. They're very common in this area of Mars. Quarter disc-shaped object, yeah? Right angle there, folks. And a lot of these on Mars have got this small part on the surface. There's another small disc, the dome on it in the center of that block. Strange dome-shaped object here with a little disc on it. It's almost like some type of fossilized shell, but this thing will be about 12 meters wide. Two discs over here, similar smaller parts on them. Another partial disc visible over here. Another one buried underneath this pile of rubble. And these discs with a straight edge on the one side are also quite common on Mars. There's another disc over here with a long narrow part running through the center over there. Right, let's have a look at this site for good measure. Looks like these four parts fit tightly together with the design on those. Maybe this was a disc-shaped anomaly and it broke up into these four pieces. Small triangle lying on top of this oval dome-shaped part with this area on top as well. Flattened triangular section on that dome. Very symmetrical. Various small parts on top of those two flat objects there. The usual suspect, small part in the center of a larger part. Two similar blocks over here, guys. Small protrusions, parts on them. Here we've got a small spherical part on the side of that block over there. Look at the uniform depth or width to that as well. And then these two parts with the right angles there, and then the straight gap running through here. Let's have a chat in the comments below and see if we can get to the bottom of what we just checked out, guys and girls. I look forward to reading your comments, analysis and opinions as to what we looked at here. It's very strange. There's so many of these. They can't be natural, in my opinion. I don't think we're looking at natural objects here. Maybe some of them are, but what are the chances of so many being in such close proximity to each other? I don't know. We can only speculate, right? Okay, that's it for this one, folks. Thank you for watching. Just before I go, huge shout out to everyone who supports my work and research, and to my new subscribers. Thank you for clicking on the subscribe button and hitting the notification bell. Much appreciated. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.